Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pubs Pod. Phil, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you, mate. How are you?
Yeah, absolutely fine, mate. Absolutely fine. It's been a long week already. It's only Wednesday. I've already cracked open the beers. It might be because I feel uncomfortable in my position tonight. But we'll see how we go. Phil, what's been going on up the club recently?
First team had a tough weekend last weekend, and well, that's all we'll say about that. And then we've had some good training sessions going on. Quite a bit of social stuff to be discussed, i.e. there's a meal on the 18th by Liz Sterland and the chef from the Bridge up at the club, £24 a person, 3 courses. The Goat and Phil will be there. Table for 2 with a candle.
Exactly.
And
there's space on your table for people to.
There is space on your table. Apply here.
Apply within.
And then
think below.
And then there's Ladies' Day coming up as well, which is open for invitation, obviously, to anyone and everyone.
Exactly, and it'd be good to get out there. If you do want to come up for it, either of them, just have a look on the website. If you want to sit with me and Phil, I guess it's kind of like the VIP table. If you want the Pavs Pod experience, it's normal £24, but when you get there, just pay us a £5 and it'll be all right.
You might get interviewed at this rate if we're not good.
You might do. You might, by the end of this, anyone will be fine to be interviewed, I think. Phil, Six Nations is coming up. Well, it's already here, but the 4th round.
Hang on, Tom. Should we not introduce George being here?
No. Just start in the background. It's fine. I'm literally lurking. That's all I'm going to do. It's fine. I'm not excited to be here or anything like that. So you just
dressed up like Jim Nance off NBC football coverage.
That's fine. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So obviously he tried to interrupt earlier, and we tried to ignore him. But yeah, George is here. It's almost. I'd like to say it's. Well, I think he thinks it's an interview, basically, an audition to come onto Pavs Pod as a co-host. It's not going to happen. But nice to see you, George. How have you been?
Not bad. Very, very much looking forward to this. It's been a long time in the making. I know you've been trying to set it up for a while ago, but tonight's the night. We're here. I'm here. Let's see what happens.
Before we go into today, how is it having a second child in the house? Yours, obviously. How is it being a daddy to 2 now?
I mean, it's not about me, Tom, but it's all right. I can't complain. We're doing all right. I would say it's just like riding a bike, but it's really not.
So riding 2 bikes at the same time.
2 years
or more. Yeah, there's something different around every corner, which is probably every hour, to be fair. So, yeah, can't complain. Enjoying it. It's difficult.
It's difficult. Do we want to talk about Six Nations, or do you just want to go into it?
Apart from there's a Friday night game this week, which is a little bit nice.
Yeah.
The second one only of the campaign. I think there's first.
No, I think it's the only Friday night. I think
it's the first one, is it? Yeah,
I think so.
I think it's actually the only Friday night.
That'd be nice. Nice little settler before the weekend.
Exactly. It'd be nice to put feet up and watch that. So our guest today is not George Billam. He's a special guest, but Phil, I think we should pass it over to you to talk to this. I mean,
so I'll affect a normal introduction then. So I'm Tom George, and you're me, George.
Oh, okay. I'm sure I'll be all right at that.
Yeah, you should know how to be me by now. Right, I'll just get into character. Bear with me.
You need to have a shave your head as well, please, right?
Hi guys, and welcome back to Podcast.
Welcome back to what?
Podcast.
I love that.
George, how are you?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
see what I'm doing there.
Anyway, today's guest is Tom Ryan. He's from Nottingham and plays for Paviers. Tom, how are you?
Yeah, good. You've done your research then, mate, haven't you? Yeah.
Right, I can't keep that up any longer. So it was, for some reason, was actually my idea to interview Tom, mainly because he's obviously not that well known at the club. Well, he's doing quite well to make himself known.
To be
But he's
fair,
not.
absolutely nobody knows who he is. That's what I say. Like, who is this guy?
Who is Goat?
So we basically put a load of questions out to the public / Ollie Hansen, and got George to come in to help me interview Tom on this one. So I guess, Tom, what first got you into rugby?
Well, do you know what? I've never thought about this question until today when I found out this is the plan. But so my all of my mum's side, the males play rugby. Uncles, cousins all played rugby. The rugby club was about 5 minutes from the house that I grew up from. So after a while, decided watching Gillingham Football Club on a Saturday was boring, as most people found out very early on in supporting football. But actually, I decided to go along to the rugby club and enjoy playing.
Is that Gillingham Rugby Club?
Gillingham Ancorians Rugby Club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. And so a few Paviers have played there, or a few ex-Paviers. So, well, mainly the Digweeds. They've played at Ancorians. So it's still, everyone's still recovering from Joe's loud shouting, I imagine. But yeah, no.
Can you just clarify what Ancorian is?
It's
no, he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Basically, right.
Is it a collector of anchors?
I think it is a collector of anchors. But the dockyard is about 10 minutes from the historic dockyard of Chatham. It's 5 to 10 minutes from the rugby club. So that was the only thing we could think of. Otherwise, it would be Gillingham Chavonians, and we didn't really want to go after the Chavs. So we picked Gillingham Ancorians.
So then you started at what age, sorry?
Started quite late, actually. Started probably about 13, I think, 13 or 14 at school.
And you were a bigger boy, weren't you, at school? You weren't particularly heavy, but you were big.
I was big, yeah. I've always been the better side of 6 foot. Ever since kind of I got my first pube, which I mean second pube, first one I mistaked for a penis. But ever since I've had some hair down there.
Now we have started.
We're on. I actually started the rugby team at our school because I realised I was never going to be that good at football. Well, that was the only thing we did at our school. It was a proper chav school, so it was football or nothing, basically.
Gillingham, so what school is it? Name drop the school again.
Robert Napier.
Robert Napier. What? Cool.
So you started at 13. You played at Ancorians all the way through till you left for uni. Is that right?
Well, yeah, I didn't play loads. Had a fair few games, enough games for me to realise rugby was what I wanted to do. Actually started out as an 8 and then moved to 12 as I moved up to Nottingham.
Yes, all the good players do that. Then you moved up to Nottingham, like you say, went to Duxbridge Trent, and then from there quickly found Paviers rather than doing anything at the university.
Well, how did you get involved at Paviers? What was the segue into that?
So it's it shows how young, naive, and a bit of a pussy I was really into this whole kind of different horrible person I am now. As you did in 2012, you joined a Facebook group when you went to a university to see what socials were at and what have you. And you were asked to put in your name, what position you played. I think that was all it was, actually. And I put myself out there and I was like, I'm playing 12 at the minute. I'd only played 12, maybe 1 or 2 games, but I was like, I'll play 12. And then my arsehole got ripped because there was a picture of me on my old Facebook, which has been deleted. I do apologise about that. But as Captain Underpants on a fancy dress night out. And obviously I got body shamed quite a lot. I don't want to go into body shaming just yet. A bit too deep for the first 5 minutes of a podcast. But anyway, I emailed a few clubs to say I'm looking to join a team to play on a Saturday, and then Miles got back in contact with me. He did, yeah. But the weird thing about it was the email was, sorry that you've not enjoyed Trent rugby. I just want to ask why. You're always welcome at Pabs. And I was like, I just feel like they're a bit of a dickish group, really. And he went, that's interesting. I'm the first team coach at Trent. And I've got a vague memory of bumping into the captain at Ocean one Wednesday and him apologising at the time. But it's all water under the bridge. We wouldn't be like I wouldn't be like I am now if it wasn't for not playing rugby at uni.
No, I think
I was a virgin all the way up until quite late.
I didn't realise it was Miles. So Miles invited you up because you didn't like Trent, and then you told him why you didn't like Trent, and he was the go.
Yeah, I think he realised that I was going to be a solid kind of social team player to prop up team.
One of the people.
And to be fair to Miles, he used to come and pick me up every time I wanted training, which was not very frequently. But I'd always manage to get someone to come into town or get on the tram and get picked up to go to games. So I was very much welcome, more welcome than I feel now. Back in 2012.
We did try. That's good. So I guess the next question we normally go to is any tour stories? I mean, we should have heard a few of yours.
Yeah, to be fair, I've not been blessed with tours. The only tour I've been to, which I can remember, I think I've only been one, was Felix Day.
From Gillingham, isn't that just round the corner?
It's a fucking long way.
It's not the same place. For me, that's the same kind of area.
There's a whole.
If you're going down that way, you can do 2 in a day.
There's a whole River Thames in the way, mate.
Not that you want to do 2.
Fair, it took a long time. I came down from Nottingham with a lad who moved up from Anks to Notts, and it took a while. But that's the best type of place for a tour for me, because literally no one gives a shit about
it was I forget Jonty's sister made it on that pod where she's like, literally their policy for tour was absolutely no rugby, we just go and have a good time. It sounds like
we played a bit of rugby. We did play a game of rugby. Oh god, it's all coming back. After everyone else was warming up and I was drinking cloudy cider on the side of the pitch. They were taking it a bit too serious for me, if I'm honest.
Not drinking cloudy cider before?
Before the game. Yeah. At the end of the game.
Too serious?
Not realising that. So my cousin lived close, and he came up and he brought his girlfriend at the time, just because he was only up for a day, brought his girlfriend for the time. Now they're married. I didn't realise they were going to get married, but after the game I threw a whole pint of Guinness over her. That didn't go down well.
You still play on Boxing Day, though, don't you? You still go down to Jill on Boxing Day. I don't know if you've got that downfield to go through, but that was something I couldn't fathom doing on Boxing Day.
I don't have it down.
The Boxing Day game is one of my favourite games of the year because
unthinkable.
We get there and it's normally we've changed it in the last 2 years because we've connected with a league team, so we'll have at the minute 40 minutes of league and 40 minutes of union. But basically, you get there about 10:30, pick teams, have a shot of port, go play rugby for 40 minutes, have another shot of port or 2 at half time, play rugby again, and then just go up to the bar and drink. It's genuinely one of the best things because when you wake up I love my family to bits, but by Christmas Day, I've normally been there about 4 days and I'm ready for a bit of a blowout. So Boxing morning, do that and then turn up to bananas drunk at about 2:00. So
I feel like you're having the rugby career that it's like a different path. Some people strive for but can't find, and there's a middle ground of people that are not great rugby but don't follow the Gillingham Boxing Day rugby game. Fucking bad. That is every time I hear about it,
all the fun. All the fun is what I'm having while my rugby career is
Yeah,
along.
you're having all the fun, but no the stress, aren't you?
No stress at all.
That's it.
Literally, the only thing that me and you differ on, Phil, is I've played with some thugs. We don't ruin hotels or anything, but we're doing all the drinking. Literally, I don't give a shit about what goes on next because ultimately, I don't really have to go to training the next day if I don't want to. So it's
Funny you should say that, Tom.
it's a contract. You're
Carry on,
moving for
carry on.
marriage.
So George, do you want to fire some of the questions we got from the public?
I will. What I'll do is I'll fire some that Tom already knows about because he is the team manager, Instagram and social media content creator as well. So he knows what's come through Instagram, which he's kindly sent to us. Some of them we might be able to put in. I don't know what the policy is on this. I don't know what you guys cut out and what you don't. So, firstly, is from our one and only Ollie Hansen. Are you this desperate for new guests?
We'll cut that
Yes.
one out. It's fine.
Yeah, we are definitely desperate.
That's a very bad question from Ollie. Desperate. Desperate.
I'm not sure about this next one. I mean, you can cut these out because it's fine if you do.
Is it the midgets one?
Have you ever gotten over his ex shagging all them midgets?
So there is a story behind this. And this is when I was naive, right?
Is it broadcastable? Are we going with this?
Yeah, no,
We're
it's
going with
absolutely
Yes.
fine. It's absolutely
Out of the open.
For a while, I'd be telling the lads in the 13 that I had a missus, and none of them believed me. And it got to the point where this thick bastard decided to put a picture of his missus in the WhatsApp group. And then it was
Is that you?
Ollie Hansen.
Just to clarify, the thick bastard,
That's me. I'm the thick
right.
bastard.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't know. I didn't already know that.
So the WhatsApp group consists of the likes of Pete Hansen, Phil Hallam, Ollie Hansen, like Louis Baldry. And literally within about a minute and a half, there was 10 different Photoshop pictures of my girlfriend being railed by various different people, which is why no one has a clue. And then there is no in any WhatsApp groups of my current girlfriend because I don't
It's
want
not true.
Wait, do you know what the most amazing thing about that is? The Hansons with Photoshop skills. What?
Unbelievable.
Like what's happening there?
Incredible.
Some underground like Photoshop trolling station that they've just set up. Like
they can't write their own name, but they can happily Photoshop my fucking ex banged by two fat blokes.
Okay. When's the last time you had a shower?
Last night after training.
I was there, saw it. And no, this is a good one. So there's a couple by Lady Rugby Ref who you interviewed a week ago. Was it last week? Was it last pod?
2 weeks, yeah.
These two kind of go hand in hand. One of them is why do you like goats so much? And that's from our Lord and Saviour Captain Doug Billam. And the other one's from Lady Rugby Ref. Why are you called Goat?
Tom, do you want to give the story of why you've become Goat?
What is this? Where's it come from? I've got an idea.
There are a few rumours flying around of why I'm called Goat. Some say it's self-proclaimed. I'm convinced Phil Hallam first called me the Goat, but he also proclaims he called me fat, smelly Tom. And I just misheard him. But basically, the Goat comes from I decided one Saturday evening after a game, after a few beers, that I'd start writing match reports just on the seniors Facebook page, which can often consisted of ignoring everyone else and only talking about my performance. And if I spoke about other people, it was normally because they were shit. And I think in just maybe the second or third one, I called myself Goat, told everyone that I was running like 20K every game, maybe doing line breaks of about 50 meters at a time, all this stuff. And then I never, one Saturday after about 3 weeks, one Saturday after a game, we were, I think the first and the thirds were at home. I walked into the clubhouse and then everyone addressed me as goat, and it's kind of stuck after 3 years.
Addressed him.
See, the first time I met Tom properly was at a year-end do when I was one of the coaches, and Tom did one of the best like season wrap-up speeches I've
Shit, yeah.
ever
Yeah, I
heard
remember
in my
that.
life.
The thing is with goat, when did you realise that you were a Capricorn and the Capricorn sign is the goat as well? That was only like don't lie to me. That was only like 3 weeks ago, wasn't it?
Oh, 100%. I've always known
the
I've been a Capricorn, and I've always known it's the goat is the depiction of the Capricorn or whatever. But I'd never made the link between me being a Capricorn and goat.
It's a much better reason, but
it's a great reason. But that end of season meal, I got proper stitched up on it because I didn't know until that night, until about 2 days before that I was doing it. So I then had to put all of that together overnight. And I do think a few people have still got signed photos of me up in their house.
Yeah, because you handed out signed photographs of yourself as awards for the third team, didn't you?
Yeah. And then wrote a poem about myself.
But it was honestly one of the best like dinner speeches I've ever heard.
I've got something to go to about awards dinners actually, but I'll just finish with the last one. Oh, there's a couple more. There's one more from Lady Rugby Ref actually, and there's one more from there's one actually from Sam Green, which is quite funny. One from Sam Green is, who's your favourite Green?
See, I thought this was going to be an odd question.
It's not a quick fire one, so you can talk around it.
Obviously,
we want reasons.
We might as well mention Johns. Me and Johns had a bit of a moment.
we might as well mention the strugglers.
We had a little one-to-one kind of heartfelt moment, probably about a year ago now, where we both realised we're liked and disliked for exactly the same reasons. We're just both a bit of a dickhead, and well, the phrase we used was, we were both a bit of a, and I'll bleep it. I've worked out how to bleep it now. It's fine.
Bleeps. He's done bleeps now. Good.
Still on bleeps now. I know, professional, but I don't think it's John T. And it's been nice playing with Danny over the last few weeks because I've managed to get 4 words out of him in a row, which has been quite nice.
Still doesn't use any of his minutes on his mobile plan. Just completely.
I do
8 minutes a month on the mobile plan. That's it.
Exactly. I do like Sam. I feel like me and Sam are very similar in person. I do apologise to Sam for saying that, but I think both quite beer hungry and stuff. But actually, I think Dave's my favourite.
Oh, Dave. I like a bit of Dave. To be fair,
I pick Dave only because Dave really likes me. So
nothing on Tash. No scathing remarks on Tash.
I am fucking terrified of Tash. Right, I know she's 10 years, maybe more, younger than me, but there's something about her I don't trust. I think she'll appear on a Channel 4 documentary one day, like "Don't Kill Cats," something like that. That's what she's going to be on. She's terrifying. Don't mess with Tash.
The last one is Lady Rugby Ref again. Yeah, that's 3. Oh no, it's only 2. Don't flatter yourself, Tom. It's only 2. How much cheese and wine do you consume normally in a week?
Let's be honest. I've got gout. So enough to cause gout. Let's move on.
Oh, okay.
So I'm.
Hold on.
I'm a bit nervous about.
Hold on.
These are questions I don't know that are coming, don't I?
Okay, Tom. So I've been digging a little bit. So I
moved on to the whiskey for these ones.
since obviously you invited me on, I've reached out to some of your not so rugby mates. Let's just call it that. Just to get a little bit of background on your heritage and what you've been up to, and just to ask you some of the questions that people really want to know about. Firstly, we'll start a little bit tame. How are your culinary skills?
I can fucking cook, mate. Right.
And I'm going to elaborate just so you don't go off on a whim, especially when you're cooking a sticky toffee pudding in the microwave.
Firstly, that's a culinary spin, right?
and did you call the fire brigade, or did someone else have to call the fire brigade?
That is nothing to do with me at all. Who's
Can
giving you that shit?
you talk us through it?
Who's giving that? I
I've
generally,
been reliably informed that you nearly burned
if you
the
give me
whole
the
block
name,
down.
if you give me the name, I'll be able to.
There's no names. There's absolutely no names coming out here. That's can't remember that one.
I don't remember putting a sticky toffee pudding in the microwave.
A lot of these you might not remember, Tom, because they tend to all follow a theme.
Was I very drunk?
Possibly.
I've got a vague memory of putting one in for what I thought.
I've been told that there was a full evacuation of where you were living because you put a sticky toffee pudding in the microwave for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I thought it was 2 minutes. And I was back drinking. Yeah, no, I smoked out the house. Yeah.
I said, listen, we start saying, so we did.
Okay.
The next one.
I can cook, right? You ask Miss Goat at the minute, and I can cook. I do a lot of cooking. I'm a very good cook.
Don't call her Miss Goat. No. What is it? What is a I was going to say feminine goat then, but that must. What's a lady goat called?
Goatess.
Okay, goatess.
Right,
Right.
I'm on it.
Mate, absolute Google up. Here we go. While she's doing that, we'll go for the.
She doesn't call me Goat, which is upsetting.
No, why would she?
She calls me Tommy.
Oh, it's a doe, like a deer.
A doe.
A doe.
Not like a deer. Yeah, okay, like a deer. Right, second one. Let's move on from that. Obviously, we know you're a big football fan. In particular, you're
I know you
a big big fan of the Arsenal. Is that right?
Have you spoken to Franklin by any chance?
Are you worried about who I spoke to?
Oh,
so
I do not
talk me through when you were an Arsenal fan for at least 6 months.
So
without letting on.
Basically, I needed to find some accommodation relatively quick. And relatively cheap at the time.
Just before you carry on, what this guy's told me is actually true now. That's confirm it.
It's true. It's quite sad actually, and for those who know me know I'm a big Gillingham fan, and I also am quite a big Liverpool fan as well, through Dad's side of the family. So basically, I needed some accommodation quite quickly. So I thought, I'll go. I found this place you showed. It was nice and cheap. I was working in pubs. I think I was a Weatherspoon microwave technician at the time. So I rock up to this place you showed. Lovely little digs. Nice bloke greets me. Right, hello, Carl. How are you doing? Go in and then look around the house. Very quick, very much. He was like, yeah, let you know. And I got a text about 2 or 3 minutes after I'd left the house saying, oh yeah, absolutely, room's yours if you want it, mate, especially as you're an Arsenal fan.
Room's yours or room's yours, yeah? Sorry.
Room's mine.
Said that, yeah.
And I was like, especially as an Arsenal fan, I was like, yeah, sound, thanks, mate, it'd be a good laugh. I'm trying to get where they thought I was an Arsenal fan from. But I don't know if you remember the purple alternative kit England had. It had the big golden O2 in the middle, which was obviously the Arsenal sponsor at the time as well. I don't know if O2 still sponsor Arsenal. So they thought I was an Arsenal fan. But my weird little like insecure brain at the time thought actually they might have only let me in because there was a United fan, a Chelsea fan, and now an Arsenal fan there as well. So I didn't want to change them. I didn't want to tell it. And there was also a Liverpool fan there as well, actually, which hurt me because I was having to talk about Liverpool Arsenal games from the side of an Arsenal fan when actually I was fucking can't. There was not one more set of fans I hate more than an Arsenal set of fans.
But this is taking a turn. I thought he was an Arsenal fan. And that's why
he was an Arsenal fan. Carl was an Arsenal fan. There was also a Chelsea and Liverpool fan in there at the same time. And I didn't have the heart to break it to him. And then I got really pissed one birthday, and all the lads were around, and they were like, "Oh, Arsenal fan are you, Tom?" As Carl was walking through, and I was like, "Carl, I need to have a word, mate." He was like, "You all right?" And I was like, "Yeah." It was an England shirt I was wearing. I don't support Arsenal. I support Liverpool. And he was like, "Why didn't you say?"
How long after you'd moved in was this? How long are we talking?
Oh, it was the longer side of 12 months.
So you've been an Arsenal fan for 12 months, an undercover Arsenal fan. This is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Massive.
That is good.
And what was the upshot of it? What did Carl? Was Carl unbothered by the sound of it?
He weren't bothered, but it wasn't there for much longer.
Deep down inside, he was absolutely broken.
I think he wanted to.
There's a couple more. I'll do one in between the last one because the last one's a really good question. There's one.
Phil, can you take the reins back, mate?
There's a couple more. There's one. You've obviously scored a lot of tries in rugby, and you've celebrated really enthusiastically. The question is, what other times have you been known to roar loudly?
Oh my god! Who the fuck have you got this one from? I don't know who's gonna listen to this to say it.
They'll all be listening. I'll tell you that for free. Tell us a story, Tom. If you can, I mean, dumb it down for the likes of.
Basically, I got quite drunk.
It always starts the same way. This story has a beginning, a middle, and an end, Phil. And it started with the same beginning.
I genuinely don't know if I can say the story.
Give us the censored version.
Got with my housemate halfway through. I just went raw.
Oh, there's more. We may as well do them all if you're going to cut them out. Great. So,
fucking hell, who gave you that?
Couple more. What's your favourite thing to do while your housemates play FIFA?
Just chat shit.
The next room.
If this is with my current housemate, me and his missus get absolutely hammered and dance to Bad Guy by Billy Eilish in the front room.
That wasn't the end of the story, but this
okay,
better,
keep
so
going.
I'll take it.
Give me more. Let me pour my second Lefroy.
I don't have the end of that. It's just a question. So this is one of the people who didn't want to fuck you over. Apparently, it's been known that you get your house numbers mixed up, especially when dressed in 90s get up.
Yeah. Don't need to worry about that.
Annoying old people.
Walked into random people's houses dressed up and stuff when I'm drunk. So it looks like, especially in this block of
apparently it was a fishnet top and a golf visor.
Christ. Yeah, don't worry about that. We'll move on.
It gets better.
I need some fucking names because people are getting fucking shafted.
There's too many. Right. So the last one that's quite juicy, and that possibly you might know is coming or may not know is coming. Talk to me about the corner house. and in particular,
Wagamamas.
And who did you take there and got refused entry?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Mum. So basically, I met this lovely Doris on Tinder. This was while I was at university. Met this lovely Doris on Tinder. I had a few chats, and I popped the question of, should we go for dinner somewhere? And she was like, yeah, let's go for dinner. And I was like, you pick the destination, I'll pay. Gentleman, like proper gent. And she goes, yeah, let's go Wagamamas. And I'm like, absolutely. Let's go Wagamamas. I love a ramen. Let's go Wagamamas. So we're queuing for Wagamamas. Quite busy. Probably about probably about 3 or 4 different groups in front of us. We're queuing, right? And it's busy, right? And the manager comes up to me and he goes, "Oh, sorry."
Did he pick you out of the queue before you got to the front, or did you get to the front?
We're probably about 4 back, right? 4
oh
back.
No, so he's come, he's seen you. He's seen that guy.
That guy. He come over and he was like, "Oh, can I?" Yeah, he said, "Oh, you can't come in, mate." And I was like, "Oh, we don't mind waiting."
Let's just pause it there. Like, you can't come in, mate. So he's gone, no entry. You can't wait.
Oh, it's something like, oh, not today. Something along them lines. Some typical kind of hospitality chat to make sure someone's not coming into your venue. Anyway,
so wait, hold on. You can't just let you go here. And so you've asked, basically, why?
Yeah.
Why,
so I said,
come in?
Yeah. So I was like, we don't mind waiting, and he was like, "Oh, no, you can't." He said, "Come in, let's have a word." I was like, "All right, okay, sound." Just stood there. Oh fuck! Just stood there. And this lass was just stood behind me, and he was like, "Oh, sorry, you can't come in." And I was like, "Oh, why?" And he went, "A few weeks ago." This is fucking.
Yeah, when we say a few weeks ago, we're talking
about a week.
A week, yeah,
about a week.
It's the Wednesday before.
Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, you were dressed as, I think it was either a fairy or as Jesus." One of the two. I think it was a fairy. And he went, you were dressed as a fairy. This was typical me. You rubbed your flaccid penis up and down the window. at a couple having dinner.
Oh, you just said that was typical you at uni. Let's hope not.
No, it generally was.
There's some windows we don't want to be.
I used to love getting my willy out when I was drunk. I still enjoy getting my willy out in change room and stuff now.
Yeah, we know.
But he went, and he ended it. It would have been fine, right, if he had just gone, "Oh, you rub your flaccid penis up and down the window," to a couple. His words were, the woman made a complaint, but the bloke found it hilarious. So I kind of think, fair enough. I turned to her to go, "Oh, should we find somewhere else?" And you know how Wagamama's at Corner House is? It's all glass, isn't it?
Yeah,
I see her getting into the back of a Hackney taxi and fucking off.
So she heard what's gone down, or she with you?
She'd heard over the shoulder what was going on.
Oh my god! Well, look, at the end of the day, she
can't have been the best.
That was what she was getting herself in for. So
I was going to say,
she's got another story to go home and tell there, isn't she?
Yeah, I'm a lot tamer now, Chloe. I'm a lot tamer. Please don't listen to this podcast.
Right, George. Do you think it's time for Phil's package?
Phil, can you get your package out?
Oh, this is the only bit I've ever wanted to do. Red. Sorry.
I've kept it quite tame because. I know you're a little angel at heart, and your mummy's watching. So
bloody hope she isn't.
Red or green?
Red.
Favorite beverage?
At the minute is a Smokehead whiskey.
There's Grony.
That's what I got for Nathan for his birthday.
And then a Grony, lovely whiskey.
Favorite rugby position?
Second row.
Running or CrossFit?
Running. Can't believe I just said that.
Sorry, guys. What sort of podcast is this? Like, am I in the wrong? Am I in the wrong area here?
Last time you wet yourself?
It was actually at the house. They thought I was an Arsenal fan. It was oh god, we'd gone out, and I'd had quite a rough time, to be fair. But anyway, I'd gone out on this night out. I woke up in just my Doc Martens, like not literally nothing else, just my Doc Martens. And I realized I took them off, and I stepped off the end of my bed onto a wooden floor, which was a complete puddle of piss. And that was probably 5 years ago. So yeah, 5 years ago.
No,
I pissed in here. I pissed the bed here. Yeah, no, I pissed probably about 7 months ago. think it was the first night out we had after lockdown as a rugby.
You've lost count. Let's be honest. Yeah.
What's your deepest fear?
Ooh.
Not being appreciated as the GOAT.
I mean, that shouldn't be a fear.
No, probably.
What are you doing?
Who's your favourite opposition?
Bridgeford.
Oh, shout out to the whoever Eric Cranmer plays for. I've forgotten.
That's Ollerton.
Yeah, shout out to Ollerton boys.
I know.
Surely they're your favourite opposition.
I enjoy.
Don't want about them enough.
I enjoy drinking with them. I've even played for them a few times. So no, not them. Bridgeford. I like beating Bridgeford.
What's your go-to snack?
What isn't?
Probably some form of cheese board and crackers, to be fair.
What was your last Google search?
Should we have a look?
I'm just checking mine, to be fair.
Well, mine is, what's a female goat?
Mine's GoFundMe.
Ah, boring.
Sorry.
And then finally, John T or Jim?
Jim.
Every day of the week.
Every day of the week. He gives me lifts. He loves me. He's unlocked doors for me. So by that, he's let me out of the back of his car.
Actual doors, not metaphorical. Not metaphorical career doors. No. Actual doors.
He's given us some good hosts, to be fair. Good guests, sorry.
Yes. So. He's a good audience member. So finally, Tom, because we normally ask a relatively semi-serious question at the end and thought-provoking. Obviously, as the third-team captain, second-team player, and with the lack of fixtures for both those teams, what can be done for community rugby to make sure that people play the game?
To be fair, I've been asking myself this question for a while, having chats with Rob Seven and the Guru. I think it's just stripping back rugby to what rugby was always imagined to be at a community level, of being a community and just making sure it's that there's something today where it was like sport, it turns from a team into a family quite quickly. And I think that's the best thing about grassroots rugby. And ultimately, so when I left university in 2015, I was ready to move away from, I thought I was ready to move away from Nottingham. I was going to move to Manchester with a girl at the time. And then ultimately I couldn't leave Nottingham. And that was because of the family I'd built at Paviours. And this was before that I'd kind of grown an ego as well. But just stripping rugby back to a very simple form of, we play for 80 minutes and then we drink for 3 hours afterwards. It's that people generally don't want anything else at kind of third team level, especially. It's all about making them feel like that they're a part of a club, and whether that's making sure that they get a hello when they turn up, or they can just have a chat with anyone they want to after the game. But yeah, I don't think it's a difficult solution, if I'm honest.
You call it like drinking, and you drink 3 hours after, but it's literally forming mateships, like new mates, like every single week, whether that's guys that have come into the team that you're playing for, or like even opposition guys, but local. Like obviously you talked about guys that you play that local, and it's literally that time after is second to none, I think, in any other sport.
100%.
I completely agree with you.
100%. And it's like, I love playing Bridgie, and like I love going up to Mansfield to play, but I could get away with being there for 2 hours and not having to talk to anyone from Paviours, because over the years of playing, you get to know people and you get to have a beer with them afterwards, and actually you might only actually see them 2 times in a year. So it's a perfect time to chat. But I mean, especially at Pavs, you look at people that have come recently. I mean, Keegan, for example, absolutely lovely bloke, not from Notts originally at all, but he's now part of the club. It's like another lad, Josh, who's joined recently. He already feels part of Paviours, and he's only been here for 3 weeks. So obviously we've got a little bit of that culture, definitely. But I think grassroots is completely across the board is lacking that culture massively. But that's a challenge, probably not for not for a podcast to go through, but no, I do. It is. No, you're right, George. It's the friendship. I mean, you two have. I mean, going back in interviewer mode, you two must have people that you played with 10, 15 years ago. Who actually, if you run into them in a pub now, you'd buy them a pint and you'd have a long ass chat with them, because that's what rugby's about.
Yeah, that's a good film.
Yeah, George.
You said 10, 15 years ago. You're like, yeah, him. Yeah. No, yeah, you're right. There's people like from anywhere that you just, oh God, you used to play for so and so. It happens, and that's what it is. It's a beautiful little family. But
it was like Phil. You were saying it on the way up to training yesterday. Played Sheffield on Saturday, and you having a chat with someone that you played against or played with after the game.
Yeah, a few people that I've played with before, played against. Like most clubs in the league we're in, have got people that have dropped down from high levels. So
yeah, Bill's got mates. Bill's got mates in all the decent clubs in that league.
Only butch lesbians that want to come on here, though.
No.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. He never dropped down.
Championship friends.
Johnny loves it, doesn't he? That's literally banter Johnny.
But Phil's right there, because if you look at it's only because I'm hoping to see him at the beer festival on Saturday. But if you look at like ex-professionals like Mike Tyndall, he's gone back to play for his grassroots club, and he absolutely loves it, because he was interviewed the other day on Rugby Tonight, and he basically said it's exactly the same banter and it's exactly the same chat, the same personality.
Everywhere, yeah.
Just without the money. Like, why don't I don't know, because I've not played football properly or whatever, but I don't think you get that in many other sports.
I can't imagine you do. Like, having played over, like, not a great club, not an amazing place like Phil has done, but like different clubs elsewhere in the world, it's literally the same everywhere you go. Like, you just rock up. Oh, you can play this position or whatever. Oh yeah, and then you fit into whatever team you're in, and then it's crack on from there. You've got mates straight around you, and you can just express yourself and be your base. So that's good.
Exactly.
Really good question, Phil.
Great question.
Very good question.
Right, we might as well do the closing bit all together as well now.
Might as well.
Because then it saves us doing it later.
Tom Ryan, good lad.
Tom, hang on, no. Whoa.
Phil, are you going for best or worst rugby memory? Which one are you going for?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
George,
sorry, guys. I'll keep you on the
yeah. Sorry,
mate. You know what I mean?
You can choose, George, because you're me. So
I'll go for best rugby memory, Tom. What are we talking?
Oh,
and it can't be us winning the playoff, because I know that was up there for you. You had a good day by all accounts.
And that isn't. I won't put that as my best rugby memory, but I have said that on here before.
Right, that's enough of
this.
That's
moment.
Go on.
There's probably two that stick out. First one was, well, I guess first one's over a few years, but the first one was playing with my brother for the first time. He was a winger, never played rugby, never actually played rugby at all until I left uni and until he was about 18. He was a winger, quite. I mean, he probably won't mind me saying he was quite timid at the time. And then 2 years later, he was a flanker. He was pack leader. He was captain. And I remember dishing him the pass for his first try while he was on the wing. I mean, if he had fallen over and he hadn't scored, it would have been a shock. But then going back,
it can't have been a further pass than sort of 2 meters.
But going back to see him, it was a bit of an ego boost, because it was kind of like, you're a bit like me in the sense of he's come through, got to know people. Now he's kind of looking after his teammates. He's giving, like, putting arms around people when they fucked up and stuff. That was a special moment for me.
Goat JR.
Pardon?
Goat Junior. That was it.
Goat Junior. Yeah.
Love it.
He's not my kid, so Goat sibling. The kid. We'll call him the kid from now on. The kid. Oh my gosh! All my children, I'm going to be able to call the kid. And the other one's probably
all of them. All of them, Phil.
I don't know. I don't have there, do I?
Right. Oh.
Well, some of them think they're lions. Raw. I've got to leave that last bit in now, no, because I can't fucking. And yeah, probably also winning the fifth cup on the bounce with the third team. That was quite special.
Absolutely solid.
quickly then, what was your worst?
Starting to come out on a Thursday with George. I don't know. Does that count? No.
Wait,
I don't know.
it's literally
Actually,
not my fault. I
there-
don't
there-
know. I don't know what you're doing.
there's been a few moments I regret. It was my worst at the time, and I've not really got anything which is worse than that. But coming off the pitch in a semi-final for Pavs against Mansfield, and thinking it was my last game I was ever going to play for Pavs, I was fucking hurt by that, losing and not being able to make an impact. But yeah, apart from that, I don't actually have that many bad memories of rugby.
To be fair, you've got anything to be bad about, have you?
No, I've not picked up any injuries. I'm still the big ego that I'll always be before the game or after the game. So it doesn't really matter.
The VOAT. You go. There he is.
Got a, because I'm a colour expert.
Well, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks, mate.
It's been a pleasure. George, have you got any other questions?
No.
Perfectly well done.
You're gonna get me at the club soon.
Yeah, well, when we've got a live one, you can go up to the club.
You have to come on when we've got a live pod, Tom.
I will do. Should we do it at the Winchester?
Oh,
hey, we're in talks. We're in
talks already. Don't worry about that.
Petal. We'll have to split the bar taking. What? All right.
So, just some recaps then for the end of the episode. You've got the meal at the club on the 18th.
Table with
Going to be good. Going to be good.
The 19th, the first team have a home game in the Cup, and it will be the last day of the Six Nations. So all Six Nation games will be on at the club.
Super Saturday. England kick off at 8 p.m. The club will be staying open for the entire England game for those who want it.
A lot.
That's turning into a big day. To be fair, didn't realise it was 8 o'clock. That is naughty.
Yeah. And then Ladies' Day coming. Please look out for that. But yeah. Any wise words, George?
Fuck me.
No.
Okay. Right. Well, with that then. Bye.
Bye.